and welcome to the July 6th meeting of the Aransas County Navigation District Board of Commissioners. As always, please let us stand and say our pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, one and indivisible. Justice for all. Thank you. All right, I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Maybe we need to start putting those on the
4th of July weekend still on there.
I know, I didn't bring
We're still celebrating. I said that a long time ago.
it is, yeah.
The very beginning. Hey, Mark, you're lonely right there, aren't you?
Okay.
I'm gonna read.
I want to vary just a little bit from our agenda. I know normally this would wait until we have comments later, but I wanted to congratulate Janine and the staff on a very successful, extremely busy, and challenging 4th of July. I've often said it was like 4th of July, Saturday night, 250th anniversary. The only thing good is at least it was not a full moon.
It felt like it.
I know it did. So we'll have some more conversation about that. But it was, you and staff did a terrific job.
Couldn't do it without them.
Well, we couldn't do it without all of you. So, having said that, let us move on to, you've done the pledges. Let's do citizens to be heard. Does anyone here have comments to make on anything that's not on the agenda? All right, moving on. Moving on to the open meeting items, we have item number 1, approve ACND minutes. Nothing? Nada? Okay. Moving on quickly then. All right, item 2, consider approval of opening 2 new tax fund accounts with Prosperity Bank to hold maintenance and operations M&O tax funds, and a separate account to hold interest and sinking tax funds. That's listed for me, but it's actually Jack's item.
Yes, it is.
Okay.
It is, Jack put this through before he left to go on vacation. We need this resolution approved so we can move forward with our investments and
Okay.
movement of money.
I think, Jerry, did you get your questions answered on this? Mm-hmm. Jerry, you had some questions about signators on these accounts?
Oh, one thing that the resolution didn't cover, and I didn't get a chance to talk to Jack about, y'all had some discussion at a prior meeting, and that's the question of whether each of these individuals will have full signature power, or whether you need a combination of a signature from the county treasurer plus a signature of either 1 or 2 of the district people. So your combinations are either each of them could have full authority, or the count, or any 2 of them, or an entity by entity signature. So you need the county treasurer in every case, plus either 2 signatures out of the district or only 1.
And you were not able to talk to Jack about that?
No, I didn't have a chance to talk about that.
I think we discussed that the last time.
We
You
did.
did, you had
Right.
some discussion about it, but it wasn't clear, and it wasn't specified in Jack's description after he talked to the bank and the treasurer about how that was going to
Okay.
arrange. So what's the preference on that?
Well, that's not on the agenda, so,
Well,
but it can get included in the solution, the resolution.
It needs to be in the
Yeah.
resolution, because that's the basis on which the bank will
Right.
Okay.
accept signatures.
do you recall what the consensus was last time?
We approve it, I mean, that was the agreement that we did. Just go ahead and get
No, 1 or 2 signatures.
the 2 signatures, yeah.
Okay,
Plus-
2 signatures. That's
One
my
of each
recollection
entity,
too.
as far as I remember, I think it was 1 of 2. We had the county treasurer and ACND representative.
And an ACND
And the
signature.
second ACND representative is the
Yep.
backup for the first.
Yes,
Right,
Okay,
that's correct.
all right,
let's go for it.
all right, go. You have,
Question.
yes.
Mr. Benham, for years and years, we've kept a single account. Why are we changing this now?
I don't know that, Tommy. I don't know the answer. That was the way Jack and the treasurer and the bank, as far as I know, agreed to set it up. So you have an account for the M&O and an account for the sinking. So.
We could always
For
post.
years and years, we've argued against it, and so, do y'all know the answer to that?
No,
Obviously,
we can
it's not-
postpone this.
Okay, I think we should.
Okay.
I think Alma had suggested that before she left.
Yes, a
for
lot
us
of this
to
is
have that
following
done
Alma's suggestion.
As a precautionary measure.
So, I mean, we could postpone this until the next meeting, until we get answers for that. We could postpone this until our next meeting.
Yes.
Those questions are answered, might be appropriate.
Motion to table?
No, postpone, not table, table
Motion-
permanent.
Motion to postpone?
All right, second, all in favor? Aye. Thank you. All right, we will do that. All right, item number 3, consider possible action to approve a proposed planting project by Creative Ecological Solutions LLC to plant suitable native plants bayward and landward of the new erosion protection wall along the south shoreline of Little Bay. The proposed planting project would be to provide additional shoreline protection consistent with the wall installation plans and in the nationwide permit 13 of the USACE.
Okay, what we're proposing is to get some grass, some plantings along the wall just to help with the erosion. We need to still look at areas that access into Little Bay. Between Tommy and myself, we want to try and identify those areas to get those areas defined, but we want permission to get Charlie to get some planting done along the areas that I sent you. The one area that moves near the annex, I got the position of that a little bit wrong. I just confirmed with Charlie this morning, so that may change a little bit, that area.
Okay.
But it's going to cost about $5,000 to get this project moving forward.
Okay.
Tommy?
Mr. Bello?
Can we get an explanation from Charlie on the plan?
I was just going to ask Charlie if you'd like to come speak on that. Do you mind coming up and just
And
identify yourself for the,
Make sure it's green.
yeah, is your
Yeah,
green,
green
is your
button.
green light on?
Bing.
There you go, thank you.
Look, a while back, after the wall got in, both Janine and Tommy had asked if I could come up with a plan to put in vegetation on the base side of the wall, because the waves still hit it, there's washover. And I had done an experiment last year with big plugs of smooth cordgrass. Smooth cordgrass is the grass that grows in the water and out of the water. So when you look at the shoreline, you see the water's edge, the grass that is above, right immediately above it and just below the water line, that's smooth cordgrass. And there's still some of it remaining on the bayward side of the wall. And it protects it when the waves hit it.
Yeah.
The grass dampens the waves, and you have little or no washover to wash out the sand behind the wall. And we're also proposing to put different plants, species that grow at a higher elevation on the landward side of the wall, where you do have splash over and the waves are eating out the sand that was placed behind it. And there's a grass, if you go to cabana number 49.
Can we get a map, an aerial up?
I'm going to try.
And while you're doing that, one of the things that we've talked about from the very beginning was access to that beach.
Yes.
Is
Right, I
very
was gonna ask
important, as well as protecting it. And so I'd really like to know where you're focusing in this plan.
Well, it's I put in the proposal to Senator too, that I would get with you and Janine to make that decision. You know, where does grass need to be not put in order to allow continued public access for kayaks or whatever other purpose. And so but the number of plants is fixed. If there's a gap, the same number of plants would be installed.
You have your aerial up there. Where
Oh, yeah.
are you planning on planting? And you know this one in Jim?
I'm waiting on,
Okay, so-
Yeah, oh, we do have it.
Starting at the west end of the new wall, all the way to where the existing smooth cordgrass is, right here, so this reach, reaches from this smooth cordgrass that still exists all the way over past the
Right.
wall where it goes east of the maintenance building.
Yeah. Where's the proposed access going to be?
That's up
That's
to y'all.
what- yeah.
I'm sorry.
We need to define, Tommy and myself need to sit down and define where we're going to get that access and how we're going to do it.
Okay, so this proposed, the numbers include that also?
Not, the numbers just include Charlie's portion of it, which is the actual planning. So
Right.
he will pull plugs from his resources, and then transplant them into those areas that he needs.
Are those plugs coming from Cove Harbor, that area in Cove Harbor? Those plugs that you're using, do they come from that area in Cove Harbor that you use?
Well, either their county and I talked about using those along the east shoreline, getting some from there.
Okay.
Because it's right there, it's growing in the conditions that are in Little Bay now.
Oh, nice.
Some from there, and if that's not enough, you take one plug, at most, one plug every 3 feet. So that,
Right.
yeah, and we're gonna fill the holes with soil so that they'll grow back quickly.
Okay,
In Cove Harbor, we would use Cove Harbor. If for whatever reason we don't use any here, then all the rest would come from Cove Harbor,
okay.
where our lease.
So in this diagram that you have here that you submitted to us,
That was me, Sue.
Huh?
That was me.
that was you?
Yes.
Who did the circle? You did the circle?
Yeah, I did the circles, and that's one of the areas that I was hoping to get confirmation on, wasn't able to. One of the areas is a little bit too
About
far.
300
Yeah.
feet?
Yeah, it's about 300 feet, Charlie says. That's the maximum amount of area we've got to play. It's going to be subject to how many plants we have, but 300 is the maximum area that we can do it as far
I
as.
know we've already had some washing out along that wall. You figured out the cause
Yes,
of
we
it?
filled 4th of July, we filled the areas, and there's still some areas that we need to fill after this weekend.
Okay,
Settlement behind it. Well, it's obvious where there's higher usage, you have more erosion.
sure.
And we've stopped the erosion for the most part, and of course, we have to have that access, and what we talked about was focusing on the areas that are not used, the area in front of the statues, the area in front of the annex building, and the existing large stands of cordgrass that are there. I did go by this weekend, and we had finally got a normal tide, and people had pop-ups set on the outside of it, and it was very well utilized. I was pretty happy about that. So we're still working on that as the end.
Okay,
Okay.
good.
Okay, well, yeah.
Charlie, I think it'd be informative for the commission to explain your planting method, which is different than you have used sometimes in the past.
Well, we did an experiment last year to see if, I'll back up. Back when we did the original planting in March of 2024 around the statues, Steve Russell's statues, we planted smooth cordgrass along the shoreline. Tropical storm Alberto, we planted 200 plants there, and that was all for free. And the hurricane or tropical storm Alberto wiped them all out except for 2. And so 2 plugs stayed, but there were 3 stem plugs of smooth cordgrass. So I tried an experiment, and Janine saw it, Tommy saw it, of taking a 6-inch plug that has all of the root mass, all of the soil, dig a hole, put them in, put the plugs in, and then stake them. Put a stake to hold them in place. And they stayed in place for 6 or 8 months until Dairy Construction built the wall. They covered the experimental area up. But it showed me enough to say that this will work.
Right.
That method will work here. Regardless of tropical storm or whatever, they'll stay in place.
Okay. Any additional, Jerry, you had a question?
Charlie, you mentioned in your proposal that you're doing this under a nationwide permit, and when the wall construction or reconstruction was done, we broke that into 2 areas. Your areas you're proposing here are consistent with that we have the shoreline area and the maintenance building area. And in order to get this, your planning project under the nationwide permit, do we need to break this into 2 agreements?
Yeah,
So
well,
so we don't exceed the length.
not exceed 500 feet. Yeah, Nationwide Permit 13 requires that any activity to stabilize the shoreline has to be less than 500 feet in length. And they have to be separate and complete. And these are. The purpose of the plantings and the wall down by all the art, the sculptures, is to protect them and the roadway. The other part that protects the maintenance building is primary purpose is to protect the maintenance building and the crab other structures.
Yeah. Madam Chairman, I would suggest that we break this into 2 agreements, just like we did on the construction contract. And for still a total of 5,000, but what I recommend is if you're inclined to approve this, that you approve as to be developed as 2 projects and authorize the executive director to enter into 2 contracts with Charlie, not to exceed a total of 5 for both of them. That way they can distribute the planning areas into those 2 agreements, and we'll have actually 2 agreements on paper,
Okay.
1 for each area.
That makes
That
sense.
documents that these are separate projects and they both fit under, each of them fits under the permit.
That makes sense. Do you have any additional questions?
Nope.
Do you have any questions?
additional comments?
We haven't heard from you yet, Mr. Wynn.
So if you break those out into, to me, it's construction, like if you give $5,000 and then go finish that for 2,500 and then a couple of months later come back and get another 2,500, is that gonna work for you? It's not for me, because that price gonna.
Or it need to be done at the same time to be cost effective.
That's what I'm saying, because you cut it out, I'm gonna charge you more when you come back for the second phase.
No.
It's not gonna be,
He'll do them all at the same time, just like they did the wall at the same time. It's that the contract distinguishes.
sections.
And
yeah,
so
2 sections, but
he
one.
can do them all at the same time.
Okay, now I
Yeah.
understand, okay.
Okay, yeah,
When Charlie and Janine, Tommy get together and figure out exactly where they're going to put these, or where the access is going to be, then they'll be able to separate those in. One contract might be for 2, one might be for 3.
yeah.
Is it 500 feet of consistent planting, or
Good
100 feet,
question.
100 feet, and 100?
No, the distinguishing factor is that they be separate and complete projects. Like, would you do the planting and the wall to protect the building without protecting the part of the beach that, or the part of the wall, without protecting the statues and the wall? You know, would you do one without the other? And I think the answer is obviously yes.
Okay.
You know,
Okay.
So it's a separate, complete project. The 500 feet is each of them is limited to 500 feet because they each have a different purpose.
Exactly. Okay. Commissioner Moore, would you like to make that motion?
I think, 1, to approve moving ahead with the plan, and in the end, creating 2 separate contracts to fall under the nationwide program.
Right. Okay.
And if I see us adding the executive director's authorized then to execute those 2 contracts.
Correct, you're right. With the,
Otherwise, we have to wait for the next meeting to come back.
To approve the whole thing.
right.
And authorize the executive
Yeah.
director to enter into those separate contracts.
Good, thank you.
Very good. I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Thank you.
Thank you,
Go
Charlie.
Okay, item number 4, deliberate and take possible action to approve, to move forward with proposed engagement with Gallo, Morales, and Smith relating to the consulting services. And that's Janine and Bob Rowe.
Is Mr. Rowe?
So this is my suggestion, so I'm going to speak to that. First of all, just a little bit of background so everybody knows where we are. Just less than a month ago, we finally completed and signed off on the 2023 audit. And so that is all an unqualified, unmodified, clean opinion, as they say. Following that, we started to work on the 2024 audit. And I'm pleased to report to the commission that that process is going very smoothly and very quickly. Much smoother and more quickly than it has in the past. And that, a lot of that is due to the fact that Vicki is doing a great job in that role. And Brianna and Carla are providing great assistance, and we're making good progress. However, one of the things that we that we found is that when we go back into prior years, when I look through the work that was done, I can reverse engineer everything that was done in previous years. All right? It's a bit time consuming at times, but I can reverse engineer it so that I can reconstruct it. But there's one thing that I can't do, and that is I can't figure out from some of those documents why they did things. Okay, so I understand how they did it, I can understand what was done, I can understand the dollar amount that was done, but I don't understand the why. And so what I discussed with Janine was a really, really limited engagement with Jeff Smith, who worked on this in previous years, to allow me to be able to talk with him and allow him to be paid for talking with me.
Sure.
To explain the whys of certain things. So, for example, and I don't want to bore everybody in the room, so please forgive me. There is a calculation of amount of leases that have to be recorded on the balance sheet under GASB 87. Okay, I reverse engineered all of that and have done that calculation for 2024. But there are a few places I don't understand why they did what they did. Why did they assume this contract was this length, and why did they assume when I see something different? So I would like to be able to ask those questions of Jeff.
Sure.
I was asked when I did this, how much money do I expect to spend? And I will tell the commission that in an ideal world, exactly zero. In an ideal world, I won't have to call him and ask him any questions. In a less than ideal world, if I do have to call those, it's a few $1,000s, maybe $2,000 to $5,000 that I might spend in getting that consulting. But I believe that that would keep the momentum going forward with where we're going. It would prevent us from spending a lot more time getting answers to the why than we otherwise might need to take. And so therefore I've recommended, I requested from Jeff an engagement letter. That engagement letter is included in your packet. Under that engagement letter, Jeff can only respond to our direct requests. He cannot initiate any work that gets done. So, and those direct requests can only come from Janine. So if I say I need to talk to Jeff, I would need to take that to Janine and say, Janine, this is money that I expect I'm going to spend 2 hours of Jeff's time getting a why to this question.
So at this point, you think if we limit it to $5,000, that should cover?
I do. I think that...
You can always come back if it turns out you need.
Yeah, Commissioner Vlasic, I don't see it going more than $5,000.
Okay.
In reality, I don't see it going more than about $2,000. But I just want to make sure that I'm not contacting him when I don't have any authority to pay him for the work that he's doing for us.
That makes sense.
And that's for both years, 24 and 25.
No, this only covers 24. The $5,000 will only cover 24. The engagement letter doesn't specify what it is, but I see the engagement letters only being for the year 24.
Okay. Any other questions, Commissioner Moore?
Not me.
Long? No?
I just wanted to make a comment. You're saying that we finally got somebody competent in there to handle the books?
That you don't have to answer that.
So I'm going to answer that. What I'm going to say, Commissioner De Leon, is that we have somebody in there who is doing a darn fine job.
Good.
And
That answers my question, sir.
That I like to work with because she listens. She is She follows direction, she takes initiative to get things done, and I'm very pleased with the work that she's doing.
Thank you.
Good, good.
Perfect.
Sounds good. All right. Who would like to make this
I'll
motion?
make the motion that we approve an engagement with Cal Morales and Smith relating to consulting services for the 2024 audit up to $5,000.
I
Okay.
second it.
All right, we have a motion second. All in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Good, thank you very much. We're really pleased to hear that we're moving swiftly on that, and I think the plan is to finish that in the next few months, and then we move on to the 25. Yep, please.
So the plan is that we will have all of our initial work done from the district side a week from Wednesday, July 15th.
July 15th.
The auditors will start to work right after July 15th. They will have a completed draft of an audit to us before September 15th is their commitment. And once we have that, we will immediately roll into the 2025 audit.
Okay. So do you think, is it still feasible that we can make that deadline of having both done by the end of the year?
It's still my objective. I'm
Is it
still,
feasible? My question is it feasible?
the answer to that question, is feasible? It certainly is. Is it guaranteed? No, but it is feasible.
Okay, good enough, that's all that's
Okay.
just checking.
That's typical government answer.
A politician's answer, sir.
Yes, it is,
Government
yes. Very good. Okay, item 6, review, deliberation, and possible approval of environmental and geotechnical services proposals for.
Number 5.
Number 5, sorry. Oh, I'm so sorry. Item 5, discussion and possible action to approve and adopt the ACND harbor regulations governing the operation and use of district harbor facilities. And I will mention that we will be able to discuss this, but we cannot vote on it because 2 of our commissioners are actually tenants in our harbors, so you can discuss it, but you can't vote on it. It's you and Tommy.
Right.
So we'll have to wait. Any vote will have to happen in 2 weeks when Mr. Wright is here. That would give us 3 commissioners who can vote. But let's go forward with the discussion. Janine?
Okay, we are putting forward harbor regulations. This is gonna help control those people using our facilities, and that's tenants, visitors, whoever may be conducting business or just visiting our harbors. It's I sent through some documentation on Friday, and I'm just going to read this. Harbor regulations establishing updated rules governing harbor operations, vessel occupancy, tenant responsibilities, environmental compliance, safety requirements, parking, utility use, enforcement procedures, other conditions applicable to all users, and other operational standards for district-managed harbor facilities. This is going to support us in making sure that everybody just toes the line, and we making sure that everybody's safe. And
I also, you're going to separate this out. Previously, this has been part of the contract that people sign.
yes, it was a lot of these. I'm going to say rules were included in our lease. We're separating that out, so it's going to be a totally separate document which the commission can update, approve as and when we need it. That leaves the actual release, the policy, and as well as MOLO separated. And once those items are approved, they very rarely would we anticipate them changing. The only thing that would change would be the harbor regulations.
Sure, Mr. Benton.
Yeah. One of the objectives here is to avoid a situation we've had in the past where you needed to make a change in some aspect of control or operation. It was all in the lease, it's all in the Smith lease. And so you have the problem of needing to change the lease itself, so you have hundreds of these slip leases out there. You now have to go to each tenant if you need to make a change, you gotta go to each tenant and get a new lease in place. We've been through that a couple of times in the past where there was some particular major change. This move will require adopting a new slip lease form as well as the regulations. Right now, if we only adopt the regulations, to a great extent, we're duplicating what's in the lease or run the risk of having inconsistent wording in the lease or the regulation. What we want is a situation where the slip lease itself is very skeletal. Just has the basics needed to identify the person, the vessel, the rates, and some of the legal baggage. And the lease will adopt by reference the regulations. So that if you need to change a regulation, the commission would adopt that and we'd send a notice to the tenant that the regulations have changed. We don't have to have the tenants, we don't have to round them up and get a whole new lease signed. So it'll make that process
It's a lot easier.
much easier, much smoother. And in the process, it gives us an opportunity again to review the regulations and probably improve some aspects of them.
Yes.
But for the most part, most of what is now drafted as regulations is covered one way or another in the slip lease. So to a great extent, we're not making a big change in what actually, what the actual rules are. It will make it, one, easier to administer. Secondly, another opportunity for the staff to impress upon each of the tenants that they are controlled by certain regulations.
I would suggest that, maybe this hasn't been included, but the lease, they would have to sign verifying that they have received a copy of these.
That's already,
That's part
we're
of
working on that draft lease document now.
Okay.
We've also, with these regulations, will be posted within the actual harbors. So anybody who is actually visiting will see a visual sign that there is regulations involved. We deal with, on a day-to-day basis, with visitors, tenants who either conveniently forget or choose not to abide by certain regulations or rules. And we find that we're finding it a little bit more difficult to enforce. Taking this this structure change, it will be a lot easier for our staff to enforce what we need to, what needs to happen in those harbors, and it helps us, as Jerry said, administer it a lot easier than what has been in the past.
You'll have one consistent set of documents.
Yes.
Yeah, when we bring back the final version of the regulations, hopefully at your next meeting, we will also have with it the new proposed form of the slip lease.
Okay,
So we can start putting that into effect also.
okay. All right. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. I noticed that when y'all removed these boats that were in violation, y'all put them at the end
Yes.
of the docking area? Is that docking area over there not used by other people? By other people? Or are we piling them up over there and then not having accessible to being able to be rented out, is what I'm trying to ask.
Okay, that area on that, it's what we call the 160s. A lot of people renting that area out.
Repeat that, please.
It's referred to as the 160s.
160.
Yeah, that area, it gets a lot of weather, and renters don't particularly like their vessels out there because they get hit pretty hard.
You're talking about the very far end.
The very far end.
Right,
So
very audience.
it's not the most desirable area, hence why we don't rent a lot. The thought process is, if any issues that we do have, we move those vessels out to that area. a little bit less accessible. There's a few things out there that makes it advantageous for us to use that area as a storage.
And they're still being stored. Are we
Yes.
still charging for storage? Adding on to the bill, or what?
It's subject to the case by case. That's why we're wanting these regulations, to get these regulations through. So it makes our jobs a lot easier to start controlling people who are not doing what they should be doing.
So what happened if the person or the owner decide to make a payment to recover that, and then what you're gonna do, is that start all over again?
It's subject to the situation. There's a lot of, and I can't get into detail right now, there's a lot of different scenarios that we have to look at, because you've got Coast Guard regulations, you've got Texas Parks and Wildlife. It's all subject to what the tenant is or is not doing. You've got different combinations. They may be paying their bill but non-compliant with a documentation requirement. You may have a combination of the both. That you may have a combination of they're not paying their bill, they're not compliant, and there's a few other hidden gems within it. It's all subject to the actual the situation by situation. And hopefully by putting these harbor regulations in, we're going to be able to control the situation.
Okay, I think that to answer that part, I think is that the way I read this is if people fall into non-compliance, this gives you the option to say if they're paying, one of the things they can lose is the ability to pay in advance and get a discount. That's one of the things they might lose.
They also can be evicted. That is still, but we've got this certain process and procedures we have to go through to get to that point. These regulations are going to fall into that.
Right. So I mean, I think if it's a matter of the person becoming ill, can't make the payment, that's a different scenario
than somebody choosing not to.
Just being obstreperous and they don't want to pay the bill for whatever reason.
Yes.
Because they want to buy beer or whatever.
Do you have a bigger issue with Rockport, Fulton, or Cove Harbor?
Cove Harbor, we've only got 18 slips out there, so it's not a huge demand. It depends on tenants and where they're located. We have difficult tenants right now, but we are starting to make moves on evictions. We've had some progress already, but
Mr. Mondine handling that pretty good?
yes, sir.
Good.
Yes, sir. We started to make some progress. We just need to get some dedicated rules in place.
Yeah. You have any other questions? Mr. Moore.
First of all, I commend you for taking this on. It's been needed to be done for a long time. Second, are there existing list of regulations, or did I hear that's all in the leases at this point?
It's all in the leases right now.
Okay,
Yeah.
very good.
So this is pulling that all out.
Yeah, and where are you getting your guidance on these regulations?
Actually, it's a combination of daily operation issues. That's one of them.
Staff is fed into this
Yes,
also.
yes.
They've had,
Historical issues that we've had over the past, law, what we're allowed to do, what we aren't allowed to do, and also consulting other harbors. We've actually gone into and tried to look at other regulations, and it's an ongoing process, and that's what we're going to be doing moving forward, is just monitoring other facilities, same as ours, what issues they have, checking on legalities, what issues we have ourselves on day-to-day operations. So we've got situations that we didn't even think of that come to our door, and oh wow, we didn't. How do we deal with this?
yeah.
So it's a combination of all.
I'd like to have a copy of the policy too, because
The policy once
the one you're working on, the draft.
you mean the harbor regulations?
Yeah, the
Or
one Judy's got right now in her hands.
Okay.
I didn't get
you
one of
didn't
those.
send it out?
No, I didn't send it. Jerry said he's still working on something, he wants to review a little bit of it, so I didn't send it out before the meeting. I'm gonna send it out as soon as Jerry gives me the go-ahead.
Okay, so you'll have until the next meeting to review it and.
We can get you a copy immediately of the draft as it is now, if you want to look.
That's what we want, that's what I wanted. I think everybody else don't have it, doesn't have it
I don't
either.
have one.
Yeah.
No, it's only Judy and Jerry I was able to get copies out to them before the meeting. And we were hoping to get copies out for this meeting, but with the structure being as it is, and you guys are having time to, for the 20th, we're gonna get that to you soon.
Yeah, and I've got a few suggestions, and I want everybody, if you can, take time to read it thoroughly. And again,
There's a lot of information.
there's a lot of information in there, it really is, and it's, I mean, you've done a great job going through and trying to cover every possible scenario, but I'm not, that will never happen.
Yeah.
I think that's physically impossible.
It might also be helpful for your reading, in case you have trouble falling asleep at night.
Yes.
If we provide you with a copy of the current slip lease agreement, the one we are using
Well,
now.
that's a good idea.
Yeah, and you'll be able to see that a great deal of what's in the new regulations is being carried over from the former contract we're using.
Yeah.
I do have a couple areas I think it would be helpful to have some guidance on. One is we still have sections on liveaboards, and we're trying to fade that out. Do you want to do away completely with liveaboard possibilities and taking that into account that you do have transients, people who come through and they have a large vessel that they customarily stay on. Now, so there's some factors there that y'all might want to
Might
think
limit,
about.
might limit the time
Right.
that they can stay. I mean, that's a suggestion.
I think that's, yeah, I think we could,
Well, I brought this subject to keep in 2024. And it been shut down because he gave me all kind of theories about this subject that we're talking about right now.
I'm sorry, who?
When I talked to Keith in 2024 about this subject,
Yeah.
and I got shut down by Keith.
Well, actually, I thought that we had put a sort of a moratorium, more or less, on
we have had,
There
you're talking about liveaboards.
Yes.
Little more than all that
Just
stuff,
in
all
order
the
to-
transients and all that, but he said, no, we can't do nothing about it, so.
Well, that's because it's all been part of the contract. So, could we have had several versions of a contract out there?
There are several versions, older, some people, there are a few older versions. The plan is once we get the regulations put through the lease, everybody will need to get signed onto the new lease. We've got to look at the policy that needs to be reviewed. I think the last time we had any kind of real discussions was before 2010 on that. So that needs to be looked at by the commission. There's still a lot of work that needs to go into it, but
Let's get it done.
So-
Start the new year
So
right.
this says what the moratorium's been in
Let's
place
do it.
since January 1st, 2020, yeah. So yes, you'll, I mean, this, what I have is a very, very rough first draft, I presume, so. There's a few little things we'll tweak, get it to you guys ASAP, and,
we just wanted to kick off the discussion.
Okay, let's do it.
I have more questions.
okay, go.
Well, this is a statement. Our rates are much lower. They hadn't been raised in over at least 10 years, so I think we need to certainly implement.
You're seeing a big nod over here.
Rate structure, which can solve some of our liveaboard problems. Environmental regulations that I would think we would pull in will also affect our marina client at Cove Harbor that runs their own marina. Have we done any comparison of their rules and regulations?
We need, that's one of the things regarding environmental side of it, we need to start looking at that. Right now, the focus is on getting our own foundation steady and right, and
Yeah,
then regarding the environmental side, we need to start looking at that.
Yeah.
It's what we want to do is get our house in order.
our own house. Yeah, okay. So-
Also keep in mind that Fulton Harbor is kind of unique as
It
the
is.
slips are owned and submerged land owned by some of the landowners along the harbor front there. However, we do control the water,
Yes, sir.
so we have.
And there's a
that
few,
there.
few other aspects within Fulton that we've got to take into consideration.
Well, good. Needs to be done, and I look forward to helping you.
Good, yes, I think you guys can
I'm
have
willing
some,
to help.
I was gonna say, I expect you two to have some really good input for us, since you are tenants. So, all right.
And on that note, we do have a liveaboard in Fulton Harbor on the Pirate boat. I don't know the numbers of the docks, but it's the second one from the south, and that is against policy forever. So
Yeah,
Yes, there's a few things that situations we're dealing with, sir.
okay, cool.
she's working hard to cover, yes.
One more quick point. This has to do with the enforcement. I'm gonna propose, when you see the final regs, that there be a surcharge if somebody's delinquent beyond a certain period. That is additional incentive for somebody to stay current.
We haven't been doing that? We don't have an additional surcharge at this point? Penalties for being late?
You have a record fee too.
And we don't have a way of tracking it.
Well, I think that's all improving, I think, with the new,
Yes, ma'am.
Get it fixed.
We are moving forward.
yes.
Get it fixed. That's what.
Well, and Adam is doing a great,
Yes, a lot of this work is, my staff, Adam is doing a phenomenal job.
yeah.
Yes.
So, I mean, this is the
So
first.
as soon as the rest of the commissioners get that, regulations and stuff, we'll be able to talk about it, because, I mean, you've got it in your hand, we don't have it in hand, we don't know what's
Yeah.
in there, what's not in there, so the discussion's mute, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, she wanted to just get this.
Yeah.
Open it up, see, get some comments. and
Okay.
then- This was, as I said, this was a very rough first draft, and I've got a few minor things
Yeah.
that I've already added to it, so we'll get that to you, hopefully one day this week.
No, this will be hopefully tomorrow.
Tomorrow, okay, good. So we can just, don't table or anything, we just take no action on this.
Yeah.
So we'll just move forward. And that one will be, we'll take that up again in 2 weeks. All right, item 6, review, deliberate, and possible approval environmental and geotechnical services for Rockport Harbor. We do need to discuss some of that in closed, so we're going to delay that until after our closed session. Item 7, request for a letter of support relating to a utility easement for underground electrical services relating to the proposed new aquarium building. And I think we have 2 ladies here to speak on that.
Yes, Commissioner Russo and Morales, if you want to come up and have a chat.
One at a time, or both if you want.
I'll go.
Do they have the?
Yes, they do have the letter from the architect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm El Morales with Aransas County. So a few weeks ago, when we were having our meeting with the architects for the aquarium and AEP, it was discovered, they came to the conclusion that AEP does not want us to build over the electrical lines that are going to be underneath the deck. So they asked if we could relocate them into an easement. So we are building right on the edge of our lease line. So that relocation actually puts it onto the navigation district's property.
Okay.
And so that's why we're coming and asking the navigation district if we can do this 10-foot easement, which is requested by AEP. The easement will be 10 feet wide because that's required by AEP. It will be within 2 to 3 feet of the deck. They want it to be as close to the decking so that it's out of the drive for the cars.
Let me get a map. Just give me a minute.
Excuse me, who are you, ma'am?
El Morales with Aransas County.
What do you do for Rents County?
I am community development
And project management.
and project manager.
Brett.
There's a map of the actual.
do they have this one with the dotted lines?
They-
Yeah, you do.
yeah,
Okay.
got it.
So you can see on the green dotted line, that's the existing,
The green dotted line is the existing.
which goes
Okay.
under the decking. AEP would like us to do the orange, where they're going to put in a new pool box, and they're going to take it outside of the decking. And graciously, AEP is going to be paying for the pool box and for all the cabling, and this will help with the yacht club, allowing them to continue having a better electricity out there. So it's kind of an upgrade for the yacht club, and a little bit paid for by the county.
Okay.
The main purpose of that easement is to get the cable that is a service past the aquarium structure so they can continue to serve the yacht club.
Correct.
I think the structure you're talking about is basically a deck between the two buildings, the county's two buildings.
Right, correct.
There.
Yeah. The new aquarium will have a proposed deck that goes to the Aquarium Education Center and the aquarium,
Right.
and make those two buildings kind of one-to-one. The deck is, what's the word? Not permanent. So if there is a storm that comes up, the deck will fall apart basically, so that it doesn't destroy the buildings. However you want to.
That's a good plan.
That's the plan. Yeah. But we,
Of all the things that are okay to wash away, the deck is one of them.
Yes,
But the building will hopefully remain.
sacrificial deck then.
Yeah, that's what it's called.
Sacrificial, that's the term they use.
Okay. Start on this end?
Something that we should consider, with the development of the harbor front, it has been proposed that fuel facilities go in down there in the 160s. Is that right? 160?
Fuel? Oh, that was, yeah, that's something.
We have no fuel facilities in Rockport
Okay.
Harbor, and the discussion had been to put them there, so, as opposed to taking up.
Yeah, we haven't had that discussion in a while, but it was,
Right.
yeah, it came up.
It's just something that is gonna come up, and we should take it into consideration to make sure that we have enough capacity, since we're going into that. If we need to help, that's fine too, but make sure that we have capacity for.
So you're saying, and make sure there's an additional electricity to support the.
Either to run later, or,
Right.
just so that we have capacity there. That's probably the easiest thing to do that you can help with, so that there's
Yeah.
enough room in the facility to get that done.
Right.
And then move it down as we need to. but just-
That's a good point.
So I'm assuming that 10-foot easement would be beneficial to us down the line.
Sure,
Okay.
True.
yeah. And hopefully we can use the same conduits and everything else.
Yeah.
Pull from that box.
Commissioner Wynn,
I'm good?
you're good.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Rock on.
Well, we're not finished yet. Go. Would you
I was
go?
gonna make a motion for it.
Oh, we do have one comment from our attorney.
I talked with Keith Barrett about this proposed easement around here to see if, based on his experience in that area, if he saw any problem, any conflict with that 10-foot easement. He sees no problem with it. From a legal standpoint, what we don't have yet in front of us is the actual form of the easement document. And so when AEP submits, I don't have any, from a legal standpoint, I don't have any objection to the concept or your indicating here your approval of providing, of granting that easement to AEP, but we just don't have an actual document in front of us. And so at some time in the project, when they're ready to start on this, they're going to say, we need this document signed. And
Yeah.
so when we get that, we may have some fiddling with the words on it, but otherwise, I'm good with it.
So we can approve this subject to receiving the documentation prior to construction, the beginning of construction.
Yeah, I think that's
Okay.
good.
So I can go ahead and we can go ahead and get a letter of support for this project
that'd be great.
from us? So
Yeah,
I
we
can-
support it.
Yes?
We hadn't approved it, but we can support it.
Yeah, we can support it until
That works.
such time as the construction starts. So we just need a letter of support, and you happy for me to sign that?
Okay, all right. So all you're asking for is a letter of
Yes.
support
Yeah.
at this point.
Yeah.
That sounds easy.
Fine.
Good luck. You want to make that commit?
Yeah, I'll make a motion, to give a letter of support for this easement project for the aquarium.
Okay, very good. I'll second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Good. We're looking forward to seeing the aquarium back.
We are too.
We'll start next week.
Did you have anything, I'm sorry, did you have anything, comment you wanted to make, Pat? Okay, all right.
I'm just surprised you didn't ask when it's supposed to be done.
I knew better than to ask that.
We know it's a slow process, and it's eventually coming, so
We plan to have.
We'll be here when you get there.
Memorial Day weekend.
we ain't moving.
Okay, good. Yeah, somebody said the district is forever, so. Okay, item number, that concludes all of the items except what we're
Number
going to do
8.
after. No, I'm getting to that. I know that. I was a prelude. Item 8, Executive Director's Report, updates on projects and happenings on ACND properties, which may include but not be limited to construction improvements and conditions at Rockport Harbor, Cove Harbor, Fulton Harbor, Festival Grounds, Rockport Beach, Little Bay, public restrooms, other ACND properties and projects, status of grants, and issues with existing leases.
Yes, ma'am. As soon as
Go for
my
it.
IT goes and decides to cooperate, I do have a little presentation, but it's to show some pictures over the weekend, but my IT has failed. All right.
All right.
It was a very, very, very busy weekend for staff. I just want to commend the staff. We started preparing 2 weeks before. We had our staff start reconstructing the pirate ship, and they got it done the Thursday before. We had other staff backing up those who were not able to, who were busy with that project. Everybody's gone above and beyond
Yes.
what we expect. It was a phenomenal effort. We were at full capacity by midday, 12:30, 1 o'clock on Saturday. Our staff were phenomenal. They were out there. We had our accounts manager picking up trash. We had our trash guys carting some of our PD when they needed to, making sure that people were safe. We had our other operations staff up until 12 o'clock, 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning, picking up trash on Friday and Saturday. We had our bathrooms, where it should take only 4 hours. They were out there five hours, making sure that our bathrooms and other facilities within Rockport Harbor and throughout the county were clean and trash was picked up. I just want to say thank you
To everyone.
to everyone.
And I think the commissioners, we all feel the same way. We appreciate getting updates throughout the day on the floor, really and truly, so that we all were aware of the situation. I understand the police department earned their keep this
Yes, they
weekend.
did. Yes, they did. We weren't incident free. We had a few incidents. Our police department, fantastic. They supported us throughout the day. Paramedics supported us throughout the day. We got to points where some areas were 3 cars deep.
Yeah.
We had no space, and we still had people we were more than willing to wanted to come in, and we prepared them.
Right.
But it was a phenomenal weekend.
I think one of the questions that arose, I believe we sent you a text on that we had, when we were out in parking space, we had to make a decision. Do we allow them in? Do we just cut it off, or do we allow them in? And I think the decision was made, we will just tell them when they are purchasing the daily pass, we cannot guarantee a parking space. And some people were happy to do that.
There were a lot of people. We had very few people that said, no, I want to turn around.
Yeah.
It was actually quite shocking. This is very rough figures, as of midday on Saturday, at that point we had tallied 900 residents had gone through our gates. And that's vehicles, not individuals,
That's not
vehicles.
individuals.
We had a phenomenal turnout.
Was that 900 resident sales?
No, that's not, we, as residents come through our booths, we actually click them in, so we can try and tally how many numbers we have through the gates. And that was a rough number, as when we shut down, roughly, the booths were even, at about 300 each. And it was about 900 at that point.
Do you have a rough-
residents who are permitted.
Permitted stickers. So if you have a sticker on your vehicle, you get clicked in. Granted, some of those, we've got people rotating in and out, but we were at roughly about 900 vehicles.
Do you have any rough idea on how many dailies you sold?
We, without having because the ladies are still calculating and doing what they need to do. As we were about 10 to 12 books per booth, and you got 50 tickets, I think, per booklet.
And these are the daily tickets?
And these are the dailies.
So that gives you a rough idea how many. I mean, I know we ended up parking almost to the bridge that goes over to Key Allegro along that road there, and it was, I've never seen it that busy.
I've got comments from just residents, they've never seen Rockport this busy.
Yeah.
So, and combine us with the Art Center, it was very, very congested. I went to one of my booth attendants 3 times. We need to quicken up the process. And at the end of it, he's like, "How?" We had double booth. The booths were double occupancy. So we had one at the door, one at the money, and to try and just take seconds off transactions. And we couldn't do it.
Yeah. The demand was so high.
The demand was so high. We opening up I got here at 5:30 in the morning. Our beach staff got here at 5, and we had people lining up to the women's club. One of my guys who shut down the beach at midnight, at around 11 o'clock midnight on the 3rd, said we had people already in line. I got a text message at about midnight, and so did Charles. We had people already in line at midnight.
At midnight the day before?
Yes.
Or on the 4th?
Yes.
Wow. So you all worked from about 5:30 a.m. until midnight?
No, not all of us. I was here until staff. Our beach crew was 5, and their normal day is from 6 until 3. They were here from 5 o'clock, and they asked, we'll stay if you need, and we always decided they left at 5.
So they volunteered to
Yes.
stay?
You got a good paycheck coming.
I was going to say,
Yes.
I did ask, I said.
It's volunteer, but they get a good paycheck coming.
They
to them.
should, they
It's-
absolutely should.
That is the other side of it. It takes a lot to pull off these types of weekends. We were still full at 6 o'clock. We were just starting to open up at
Right.
6, and I was on the golf carts, and my guys were doing capacity checks throughout the day, and 6 o'clock we started to kind of loosen up. The only parking that you could find was down at the salt water on the sand, past the parking lot,
Right.
and then on the opposite side.
Yeah, so.
So there's a lot of learning opportunities that came out of Saturday. I want to do a debrief with staff over the next week or so. I would like to touch base with the PD and see if they've got any suggestions on improvements that we can possibly do, because a lot of our staff have not seen this type of.
I think you said the traffic at one point was backed up all the way to HEB.
That's what we were heard. I haven't seen any comments from the public saying we really
this
backed
time.
up.
Not this time.
Good, good.
Not this time.
That makes me happy. That makes me very happy, because I had, yeah.
Okay.
I think the reroute that we done, that I suggested to the chief, and Commissioner Moore suggested the last time, I think that all kind of approved.
Chief Stevens was here at 12 o'clock because I half-fived him.
Chief Anderson.
Anderson. I half-fived him at 11 o'clock.
Thank you
So,
for
yes.
coming, Randall.
Yeah, I see him working on
Okay.
When we get a chance, and we get the accounting tightened up on that, I'd love to see
Yes, sir.
the
She'll bring them to you.
sales, residence passes, and also maybe a press release announcing how that went.
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
Yeah, we've already talked about, it would be ideally we would have the figures today, but that's just not possible.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes,
Yeah, we're good.
we needed a little bit of rest yesterday afternoon, so
Yes.
Really?
a little bit.
So, anything additional at this point?
We start from tomorrow on audit. We get back into the audit, get that moving. My harbor regulations, we're going to start pushing that, and hopefully we take a deep breath and get onto the projects that we've
Yeah.
let
Well,
go
it's
a
sort
little
of-
bit over the summer period.
I was gonna say, this is the peak and the worst
Yes.
of the summer, so we'll be,
Labor Day comes.
And compared to this, that's going to be that's not going
Piece
to be
of
a
cake.
hard.
exact, I wouldn't say walk in the park, but it is certainly gonna be a lot easier, so. Okay,
You're hoping.
any comments that I have, I'm going to save until it would be appropriate in the closed, so I'm gonna open it up to I'm sorry, we'll go to this is item number 9.
Thank you, Jenny.
Chairwoman Commissioners reports, I don't have anything other than what I'm good, comments for the close, so, you wanna start?
Yeah, I think you suggest that you go to the city manager or the commissioner or the judge to figure out something with the hotel motel tax on the section where, and Tommy brought this up before, where it states that the hotel motel tax is allowable to pay for beach patrol and also beach cleanup. We need to get some of that money from them. They've refused it all this time ever since hotel motel tax. I think we need to start recovering that, because you can tell as what we bring in, the navigation, the water brings into this community for the hotel, the restaurants, the businesses, yet we're not able to seek any of that money out. So I think you need to address that
We've
as
tried.
a, try again, because you got the budget hearings coming up.
I
That's
know.
what happens. You pass the budget hearing, you can't ask for it.
Well, the hot money considerations are usually separate from budget, correct?
Not really.
No, okay, all right.
I mean,
That's where you budgeted at. That's what Chief Anderson told me.
That,
Yeah, that was his complaint. Oh, we didn't get it in, so we just need to be sure we get it.
okay, all
Yeah.
right. Yeah, we need to work on that. No, I agree with you. And there are certain regulations that apply to the county, which allows them to be a little more,
You're the
for other
headmaster
issues.
here.
Okay, is that it?
You're the headmaster, so you go for it.
Oh, well, we've worked on it, we'll work on it again. You have anything?
Nope.
Okay.
Of course.
I am very proud to announce that we were able to get our port mission plan surveys, which are basically grant applications with TxDOT. What the TxDOT grant process, let's keep it a grant process, will do is give us the ability to get money for dredging and bulkheading, which is available under none of the environmental GLO grants, but this did, and I want to thank the board for giving us the ability to move forward with that. We work with CDNP/LJA, and they came up with a great port master plan, port improvement master plan for us. It was very well done, and I want to thank Victor Martinez for doing a great job on there, and then the Christie and Marco for putting it all in place to get it done. I was hoping I would have copies of that to give you guys as in the tourist business. We a little bit busy and didn't have time to follow up on any of that, and it's not here today, so we'll get that to y'all electronically. Once again, this is a starting point for our port mission plan. I've thought 10 things that need to be put in there just for thinking and moving forward. But I am excited, and once again, the TxDOT Marine Division came to us, toured our facilities, said they're going to be able to give the smaller ports or want to give the smaller ports funding for some of their projects, because it goes a long way in a small port when a little bit doesn't go very far. And I learned a lot working with the Port Authority and TxDOT. So I'm really excited about getting back on track with all of our grant processes, and congratulations to the board and staff for that. Appreciate your help.
Could I say I want to thank you for taking this on and putting a lot of time and effort into it and helping to gather all the info. There's a lot of information that they needed from us. And you took charge.
My pleasure and my job.
And Janine and I schlepped a lot of boxes from storage over into here to try to pull out all that information. So it was really a good team effort.
Yeah.
Team effort. So.
One other, I got a text from Kay at Wings Rescue, who they're the bird rehabilitation,
Right.
wildlife rehabilitation group, and they are having a lot of tricolored herons moving out into the main roadway, and she asked if there was anything we could do. I put and this was just last night as I was on my way out for our sunset cruise. I did put a text into David Newstead, who heads up the bird Bird Island Management for us and up and down the coast and coastal bend bays and estuaries program. He did respond, and I just asked him if they have any type of barrier in stock that can help us do that, and get that implemented.
Okay.
And so we'll just move forward with that.
One of the suggestions this weekend while we were driving up and down the beach is, I think they had they came to us over the weekend, is actually getting the barriers up, those plastic barriers. If we could possibly find black, we could get those up, if subject to what the environmental guys say. That's the only solution that we could possibly come up with at this point, is to try and just contain them and get them to stay off the road.
You know, the birds have wings, right?
Yes, but
These can't fly.
the babies are ground still.
Well, they can fly.
So
That's good.
there are some called dodos that don't fly.
Most people think like the fish stay in one spot, but they didn't know they have tails on it.
Yes, I agree with you, but these babies are still grounded, sir.
And this
So this is for the hatchlings then?
This area has become one of the largest tricolored heron rookeries in the state, which is kind of fun, and it's all happened since Coastal Bend Bays and Estuaries program has taken over the management of this, and of course we assist them. The thing that strikes me as the quickest, easiest, maybe not the cheapest, is like sediment barriers that we can just roll out. But I'll follow up, see what they have. I'll get with you.
Hopefully they'll have some
We'll see what it is.
suggestions. And knowing Kay, she will be on top of it too.
So again,
Knowing Kay, she will be on top of it also.
absolutely.
Yes,
She's vicious, so thank goodness.
she is, okay.
That's all. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Now we have press questions.
Do I need to get up there, or can I ask them here?
Speak loud.
Right there,
Speak
you're
louder.
fine. Just make sure we can hear you.
Okay, I don't think that'll be a problem. My kids tell me that all the time. Jenny, with the regulations?
Yes.
Are you working off, how old are the current regulations that you have now?
Well,
I don't think officially we've had any regulations in our operations. It's all been combined into our actual lease document.
I guess the question is, how old is that lease? that
Yeah,
we-
how old is the specific lease document that you guys are basing it off of?
Which version?
My question is
Yeah.
how long has it been since the NAB district has either looked at or changed their lease agreement or anything like that?
I mean, the policies go back, the actual policies that I saw was 2003, 2004. That's the
Been a while.
policies.
They've been carried forward. I don't think there's been a major rewrite of that lease form in probably the last
20
more than
years.
10 years.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's what I needed to know.
I could address that about 10 years ago, and that's totally from memory for whatever that's worth. We had some insurance changes.
Oh, that's right.
Insurance companies, and mostly on the commercial boats. And I remember signing another lease and resubmitting my insurance, and so it's been about 10 years.
Okay.
So that was the question I had. The lease agreement you're currently working off of,
is at least
You
10 years
haven't-
old.
You haven't looked at updating it since then.
Right.
That makes sense.
That's a good rough estimate, I think.
Yeah. I will add a comment though. The problems that we face to manage it are ancient. So it is, these aren't new problems.
Right.
I think they call that human nature.
Yes, sir.
That's all.
That's your only question?
Yes, ma'am.
I see a hand raised.
I have a question. I checked the website this morning for the NAP district, and it noted that the next election for board commissioners will be November 5th of 2024. I'm wondering when that information will be updated, because I believe there's an election coming up this November for 3 of the positions, 2, 4, and at large.
I was actually on the website. I think we had a notification that needed to be put through. I think it was the 18th of June or July, no, June. And I was on there. There's 2 sections. There's 24 and there's 26 right next to it. And I will double check the website again.
Because I was looking
but-
under the elections
yeah.
tab.
Yeah, it should be, there should be 24 and then 26 right next to it, because I actually did put those changes in. So I'll double check just to make
Double
sure.
check.
So
Yeah.
the date is there in the packet
Yeah,
information?
there's, the packet informations, I need to get those, yes, still.
So that's
still-
not there?
Yeah, not the packets, I still need to work on that, that's my other job. Yes, so there is a delay on that, but the actual information and notices is being posted on our website in preparation.
Yeah.
That, as I said, that's now be 4th of July, I can start working on that.
Yes. I
I've
will
got,
note
there's me, ma'am.
that that legislation that was passed in the mid-70s that made us these positions elected,
I'm sorry.
the legislation in which they made the commissioners elected positions, there's a phrase on there that said that we would post notice of the election, I think 30 days before the election, which would have meant October by that legislation.
Well, we consider that overridden by the state
Correct.
statute that now regulates the schedule.
This was the first time I had noticed that, and I thought, well, that's very interesting, but we still comply with the state.
Well, I just remember, perhaps not this most recent election, but the one before, there was a real problem with the posting dates. They were posted and the dates were changed, and
Right.
it's a huge issue. So I was hoping that wouldn't occur this year.
Well, I'm hoping it won't, but I've got, and I'm going to be pretty frank, I've got one pair of hands, and I know that's not an excuse, but I'm trying the best that I can.
Yeah.
And you better count on, I'm gonna review and re-review.
That's it.
And I will say that glitch was not your fault. It was not your fault.
And the deadline to file should be sometime mid-late August. I looked at that the other day.
Yeah,
So-
I'm trying my
But
very
we're in
best.
July already, so.
Yes,
I
ma'am.
just-
I'm very, yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes.
No, I think you're doing a terrific job, Janine.
You gonna run?
No, I'm not.
I wouldn't blame
You're
you.
not.
It doesn't pay near as much.
I'm the lowest paid commissioner, and I'm proud of that, so.
Look at us, look at us.
Oh, yeah, we're lower paid than you. Okay.
Can't complain, you signed up, man.
So are we finished, I think? Any other
I like it, I'm
questions?
enjoying it.
Any other questions? All right, having no other questions, and we are now going to close our open session at 10:20. And we will go into closed after a brief intermission. And before we do that, I need to read to you the following statement. The commission will recess this open meeting and conduct a closed meeting pursuant to the Texas Open Meetings Act to conduct a private consultation with its attorney under section 551.071 of the Act, to deliberate regarding real property under section 551.072 of the Act, and to deliberate regarding personnel matters under section 551.074 of the Act. Specific subjects, among others, may include issues related to the executive director position, legal and related support services, and value and leases of real property. Following the closed meeting, the commission will reconvene into the open meeting. And there are 2 items listed, but I'm not sure that there will be any action taken on those, but if you would like to come back, just in case, please leave your name with Janine. And with that, we are now temporarily closing our Thank you, everyone. Welcome back to the continuation of the Aransas County Navigation District public meeting of July 6th. We do have several items, but we have two items that were on the agenda and then one that we had delayed, which was item 6, and we are not taking action on any of those items. Therefore, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
I'll second that. All in favor? Aye.